Mr. Lynch, knives will be live forever. Lynch. It's November 9, 2025, it's a Sunday evening, studiamo di cloudy, it's quite grey cloudy, skies in general. It also seems now it's in the afternoon, like it's noon and 37. 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius, this is standard these last days, also considering the hours. This means this really 64 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius, this is standard these last days, also considering hours. And this means this is really soft, like Sibir, soft cascade to also for the autumn to spring period, so it's also 4 years ago. Yes, because in effect la stagione senti and 4 years, so effect ready for the summer, we pass the 4 years with the porta. So insomma non for me, the summer, passano 5 buoni. Also effect più messo fix event the autumn now also for the autumn, in fact 4 years with the porta, also not for the other 2 seasons. The winter and spring in that Odyssey case are still 3 years, and that Odyssey case is 3 years. So absolutely no remember think on a body, because on a body which I suppose indeed I'm sure at all see it process at the time it's my proposal, so cut the vision to which I use. It's better no perhaps a paradox you to for me, and I didn't mention the collaboration also for the winter, spring and summer, for the winter, so it's adjective cold for the spring and second adjective soft for the summer, the adjective hot, so sono usate in general for the season, so the periods, the classic adjective, and as you guys in the green, that is for me, no, absolutely incomplete, sure and easy period on this, because for considering for 2 reasons. The first reason consists in fact in the passage from summer to the autumn, and the second reason consists in the last, I think, the change of temperature is up to the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, so more weeks ago. Now, thanks to this last, I think, the change in the air, completely changed, and it's completely pleasant that with the air, I mean, in the same temperature of the English, so the sum of these things makes the condition situation completely pleasant. At all this, for me, also for people. From a late I think not because I feel cold from a video from a late I think yes, so I don't know this event on them. However, in general for me all soon. And if as I said last days it's slightly cold obviously. We are going to the half of November, so to December, and this is also right visiting a certain point of view. Still not as cut also strange way I can say the same thing as just before in this it's bad at this seems so maybe some things on this. Ieri e freno non finché sarebbero sì, ripetete just before 64 Fahrenheit 18 Celsius. At important atmosphere that si vuole devi dire. Adesso le cortine, sono delle cortine in genere, sembra che sentami, ci siamo perfect, si suppose, fa che non si ripete, poi si dice, totally what the sky, according to what I read, considering my sensations, the other things, I think it's possible that late afternoon, because it's late early afternoon, might become darker, bleaker, and those that might rain from traffic and rain from a late, I think, regulars. We see, let's see what happens. But as we say, no bisogna mangiare so wizards, so if it's clear, so can scrivi, tu devi clear. Bend, so si di from mythical window, the new white curtain with green flowers, longer flowers mixed between the plants new since last November 1. It is the day it was also the birthday of the previous mythical beautiful grey curtain with beautiful painted benches. In fact, in the day it's the third birthday, November 1, November 1, he changed it with this new because the curtain was broken consumer, also filmed uploaded the RIP goodbye video for the grey curtain, also music interpretation of a beautiful piece of a beautiful movie called Necromantic by George Bucciaretti from 1987 at Giulia Commandi Simone, also facendo this track, quello del Tomb, for other things, del time, in other words, that's one of my comments under the video. So now there is this, yes, the pattern is the fourth curtain goes in the other room during last summer, while now there is the third in that room. It is the worst sweat because curtains in that room are worst sweat. The only difference color with the flowers is the third curtain, the flowers are almost pink, if not pink, similar. Now here there is this, and also for this curtain, off when there is, that was when there is more when there is, because the general shouldn't, because the FX measure. I'll say the little picture sentence that I reduced for the grey curtain, it is this, but also always a better vision for me in its entirety, in its shot, at sequence generation. As regarding cresciuto, rosso si chiese, as regarding cresciuto, not visible, rosso si chiese, rosso red, sì, avete special sentence, semilite special sentence, I use for this curtain, repeat this, but also always better vision for me, its entirety, in the shot, sequence imagination. Finally, from a medical killer, GX 640, EPG 625, also si chiese, imagination. Per stimolo da pipa, lo vado facendo di qualsiasi le che ora sono un buon esiste. Sono myself, rosso schieto, ben fare, io poi mi get breakfast. Today it's litigere also non è fa così il tempo non è tipo l'importante è fare fuori ragazzi. Mi sembra tu sei stato in facca nei breakfast affiantami a un vita, questo tweet, affiantami parte a me te tu sei tu diverso, 53 ore 6 cose mai 3 su esserci. Tu devi ripetere. So dico, lo si carriera, letto Mars, it's just all you questo input in un 7 minutes. Dell'imparting ci c'è il cinema, risetti insieme io su dei forti non sono a miliardi. E andare se viene, sì. E che fa, se ci sono le mosse, l'ultimo se le fragore. Absolutely. Se no, in many months, most money in fact. Yes, I also so good thing like factories of Friday, but this should be done. We have promised you at one time, so I tell check better you president or the which assess to see these things. For me, some shots, so this is obviously it's a joke because we're talking about most money, but some also new shots from the biscuits. Maybe you'll come with the biscuits. Yes, I think it's one of the best, not the best in our types of biscuits, the chocolate cookies, or the cookies, the chocolate chips, or chips chocolate. And if I'm not mistaken, also for the biscuits, Mr. Lynch. But in particular, tu red and easy first one. So about to milk for shots, non can see off obviously. But also chocolate fact soon cannot have a shot of videos. A shot of En if nästa eleme måns yes, så det sig inte post vania, så det sig lo conto, så det should be tamne pure, så non da ci copersi più, poi da lavoro sono non squick, se ti finisce, andando di once music, we or the, but once again, se non si think it wide to the so se che lo conto, se che should be tamne pure, so non da ci copersi più, so hai patto insert it once again in milk, so very good news, and quindi se also the effect and Nicolas Beck, so questo è in particolare, ma adesso se che se la stipio se gioco I talk about the most mania. So I told you some feeling to first time so that period. At the same we also consider tool Nicolas breakfast always a bear mama. The second thing is about science fact and if the arab sia stato Conanda. Anzi, adesso mi sa sempre in questa posizione. Cosa? Attraverso questa posizione per guidare la mamma. Italian science fact cosa? I do recommend them to you because they are really super bad. Anzi, tomorrow is supposed to entrare, perché non ti tomorrow, 8 good of lepe. Ma è uguale, sì.